Hello, everybody. Today I found this article and it's titled Americans on COVID-19 Jobless Benefits Spent More Than When Working, Studies Show. And this article is on the Reuters and it's written by Jonelle Marte. Marty, I don't know. But anyway, let's get into this article. Uh, it only makes sense that people would be sending more money than ever because they're making more money than ever, right? For those of you who work, in a little bit more prestigious jobs, you're probably on a pay cut or you're making around the same. But for a majority of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, this is pretty much paid vacation um, with an additional bonus money. So let's get into this article and see what they have to say about it. Americans who received enhanced unemployment benefits due to the coronavirus pandemic spent more than when they were working. A study released on Thursday said, adding to concerns about steep fall spending when the emergency benefits expire. Well, it makes sense, right? Like a lot of my friends who were working, they were a lot of them were living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of them had to budget because a lot of jobs these days don't really pay that well, and this is for a lot of jobs. So you could argue that, hey, you should get a better job, or hey, you should find a job that pays better. But well, who's gonna, if everybody's the manager, who's gonna be working the sales floor? If everybody is a millionaire, well, who's gonna clean the millionaire's toilets? It's just how the economy works. It's like a pyramid in a sense. You have people at the very top, and then it gets larger and larger as you go down. So it's not that easy. For an engineer needs people to manufacture the pieces. Okay. Um, a lot of my friends also, because they're not on unemployment, are making more money, or who are on unemployment are making more money than ever. Because, as we all know, those who are on unemployment are making more money than ever and are on a paid vacation. So a lot of them are spending their money on, online transactions have gone up, video game transactions have gone up, spending on Amazon has gone up, Netflix accounts have gone up, a lot of things have gone up. And when you have leisure time and you're making more money than ever, what else can you expect? We live in a society where people live on debt. Okay, they live on debt. They don't know how to save, and America is very bad at saving. So of course, people are going to spend more than ever. The 600 weekly supplement added to the jobless benefit as part of the CARES Act help. Unemployed households spend 10% more after receiving benefits than they did before the pandemic, according to the research by J.P. Morgan Chase Institute. Again, it only makes sense. You're essentially making, I don't know, 156% more on average, right? That's what the research says. So what else are you going to be making? What else are you going to be doing? Like a lot of my friends, they're traveling, they're visiting different states, they're visiting family, they're playing video games, they're buying things online, right? Because they're making more money than ever. A group of friends of mine, we all play this video game online. We all play this MMORPG online, and it keeps us connected no matter where we go in this world. And while a lot of them are smart and they do invest their free time that they have on this paid vacation appropriately, a lot of them, even the ones who live in Bay Area who are in a financial struggle, are now making more money than ever. So they're spending more money on these video games and whatnot, these online transactions, because they have the money to spend now. I tell them too, like, hey, maybe you should budget. The economy's not looking that good, but what do they know? But a lot of them also have been investing their money wisely into stocks and not gold and silver. They don't listen to me about that, but they do spend it on stocks and video games and food and Netflix and new gadgets and gig gags or whatever. So that's cool. Um, Researchers analyzed transaction of 61,000 households that received unemployment benefits between March and May. Spending dropped for all households as the virus spread and led to the business shutdowns, but then rose when households began receiving jobless benefits they found. All right, because while a lot of my friends and I, even expert economists did realize that, wow, the CARES Act is going to be really exploited, a lot of households were scared. You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to lose my job. But then when they found out they're making more money than ever, well, they're pretty ecstatic and they're going to be spending it on, pool parties, barbecues at the beach, going out partying, buying alcohol. Look at the sectors that have been hit tremendously. You'll find that a lot of certain things went up and a lot of certain things went down. But again, with more money, more free time, more spending is going to happen. except for the essential employees because, they get screwed over. The contrast with typical recession, when households received unemployment benefits, usually cut spending by 7% because the regular jobless benefit amounts to only a fraction of a person's prior earnings, the research found. Exactly. When you give people an absorbent amount of money that they don't need, they're gonna spend it on stuff. The analysts highlighted how the additional unemployment benefits are helping to prop up the US economy and consumer spending after the pandemic led to a surge in joblessness across the country. Well, I suggest that instead of giving all that money to the people on unemployment, why don't you give hazard pay to essential employees and a good amount so that, because they've been working harder than ever, exposing themselves to the virus, they can go buy something nice for themselves. Because a lot of people on a lot of the essential employees' pay hasn't risen. It's kind of stayed the same or it's gone down. Um, so when are they going to get a vacation? If you give them that extra money, that they deserve, maybe, I don't know, there'd still be a lot of stimulus in the economy through that. More than 30 million Americans are estimated to be receiving unemployment benefits, and they could be pushed off an income cliff when the supplemental benefits, which are due to expire at the end of July, are withdrawn. Okay, but as I've been saying for months, uh, the unemployment benefits are just going to be extended. There's no ifs and buts about it. Regardless of whoever's going to be the next president, you cannot let millions of people starve. Okay, and people on unemployment, essential employees, they realize this, so they're going to abuse it. That's why we saw the unemployment rate increase more. People filing for unemployment because people know that it's official. Okay, it hasn't been officiated, but it's official. They're gonna keep extending the unemployment. Our estimates suggest that expiration will result in large spending cuts with potentially negative effects on both households and macroeconomic activity, these researchers wrote. Okay, if you want to stimulate the macroeconomic activities, give essential employees more money because if you give them hazard pay, if you incentivize people to work, if you pay people to work more, they will spend more money. I would spend more money if I was receiving hazard pay, but I'm not receiving hazard pay. Give me hazard pay. Give give the people on unemployment their unemployment benefits, and that's all. No CARES Act. Give me and all the other essential employees money. We will spend it. We will stimulate the macroeconomics. The data also reflected the financial pain faced by households that encountered big delays in collecting benefits after states across the country were overwhelmed by applications. Households that had to wait several weeks for their first unemployment checks to arrive cut spending by 20%, the study found. Spending recovered after the checks arrived. See? People know how to budget. People know how to be conservative. People know how to live within their means. But if you give them money, if you give a dog a leash to run on, the dog's going to run on the leash. So stop giving them all this money. Let them live within their means. Reward essential employees their hazard pay, and then things will still function. Also, people would be incentivized to go back to work. So, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say? Were you thinking yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, this is pretty pathetic. I don't know. Like, just read this. It's all pretty obvious. Give hazard pay to the essential employees. Give a living wage to those on unemployment. Dude, people on unemployment aren't supposed to be living the time of their lives during a pandemic. They're not supposed to be living the time of their lives when they should be conserving. The people who are working the front lines, risking their lives, are the ones that are supposed to be having the time of their lives because this might be the last line they live if they get exposed to that C virus. It's a damn shame, though. It's a damn shame.